Okay, so we've talked about what exciting opportunities that social business will offer your organisation, and we've talked about the role that SharePoint might play. But you know, there's a few holes in what SharePoint can offer, so I thought I'd spend a moment talking about some of those holes and what you can do about plugging them. So I guess it's important to understand that SharePoint 2010, which does have plenty more social capabilities than the previous version, came out around about the middle of last year, around about the same time that iPads came out. So many of these concepts around mobile, around app stores were in their infancy when SharePoint 2010 came out. And so I think some of the capabilities in SharePoint haven't quite caught up with what's available in some of the more mainstream applications. Let's just take a look at some of those. I guess one of the most frustrating for me is that I see the activity stream, so that stream, that feed of all the activities that are important to you. That's a little bit buried on your My Site, and you know, you cannot disconnect it. You cannot take that activity feed out of your My Site and put it on the home page, which is exactly where we want it. We want it on the home page. So the home page is very dynamic, constantly refreshing, and it will bring your home page alive, but you just can't do that in SharePoint 2010. That whole concept of liking and being able to commenting on news articles, for example. The use of hashtags to be able to tag a specific topic for easy reference. Again, just not around when SharePoint 2010 was developed. And some of those more niche concepts, so ideation or idea innovation support, the idea of having a Q&A forum like Quora, for example, to put questions out to the whole organisation. They just went around, and you know, I love team sites. I couldn't do without them, but I find that they are very document oriented. And when you compare how team sites work with some of the more mainstream applications around collaboration now, they really do seem a little bit outdated. Very often we're hearing users say, why can't this work more like LinkedIn or Facebook, and why can't I get microblog updates the way I do with Twitter? So what are we going to do about this? Well, the good news is that there are plenty of options to plug those holes, to plug where SharePoint has less capability. I'm going to take you through 3 of these options just by way of example. So this chart shows those 3 options. Let's take a look at the top one, which is just using native SharePoint and not supplementing it with any other options. So you can see along the top there, we're looking at social features, where upon the right, that's fully featured, all of those capabilities that we talked about, and just in the middle is where they have some features, but not all. You can see that SharePoint on its own tapers off pretty quickly when it comes to the social end of the spectrum. In the middle here, we've got, I guess we've broken that down into three subsets of option 2, which is to complement SharePoint with another product. Now, Yammer is very, very widely used, and there's plenty of great case studies about the use of Yammer out there. The thing is, Yammer is a whole separate island to SharePoint. You have to manage your profile in a different place, put your photo in a different place, and it's often difficult for a user to just switch context, even if that means just another tab of the browser, to go out of SharePoint and into Yammer to make a comment. So you'll see it does plug the hole, providing those capabilities, but it's quite disparate. Sure, you can get Yammer web parts for SharePoint that bring the Yammer experience inside of SharePoint, but you have to pay. You have to have the paid up version of Yammer to do that. You can't do that with the free version. And you still have to maintain 2 separate profiles, so you still don't get that seamless experience. There are some point solutions around some of the verticals, so the vertical being for CRM, for example, and Salesforce.com dominating in that category. Salesforce.com has a fantastic social add-on called Chatter that gives you that activity stream and gives you that great mobile experience. That's great, but Salesforce.com is usually only licensed out to the sales and marketing team, so we've got a big gap there. So that brings us to option number 3, which is to use a product like NewsGator that is totally built on and integrated with the SharePoint platform. So it's a very seamless experience, a single profile, there's no changing context. NewsGator just introduces a whole lot of functionalities that sit over the top of SharePoint, giving you that full suite. Here's another view, and this view reflects what is fast becoming a newer trend in social business. And this is about not just having those microblog capabilities out there for the intranet or the ability to comment on some content that's been posted, but bringing that whole social layer right across all the application systems. And there's been enormous movement from all of the big vendors to bring that social layer to their platform. So, SAP with their Streamworks, IBM, OpenText, all the big vendors are working on this social layer. With the idea being that no matter which system you're in, you can follow people, comment, throw questions out there and have a very seamless experience.